So as a kid growing up in Brooklyn, New York, woo, one of my favorite childhood memories was seeing the Mr. Softy ice cream truck roll down the block. I'd be out there with my friends playing tag, jumping double dutch, swimming in the fire hydrant, and we'd hear, the minute we heard, everyone would freeze. And one kid would yell, "Ice cream!" And we would scatter like roaches, running and begging our parents for that $1 so we could get the vanilla cone with rainbow sprinkles. Fast forward 30 years, and as a mom, I hate that motherfucker. My kids are older now, but when they were little, we'd be in the car, riding around the neighborhood, and they'd hear, and they would start, "Mommy, we need ice cream. If we don't get it, it's gonna be the worst day ever. You're ruining our lives." And I would look at them and think, is it really that serious? But I guess to a 6 and an 8-year-old it was. And I get it, to an extent. You see, when they hear that melody, it says, vanilla, cone, rainbow sprinkles, a taste of heaven. When I hear it, it screams, pull over, unbuckle the kids, grab them by the hands, don't forget your wallet, run across the street, hope that you don't get hit by a car, and run down the block and pray that the motherfucker doesn't drive off before you get there. Let me tell you, it was always so stressful. And I got to the point where I realized that I needed a strategy to survive. Now, I tell people all the time that parenting is 90% hustle. And you gotta do what you gotta do. And I had to get creative. So I started telling my kids that when the ice cream truck was playing his music, that meant that there was no ice cream in the truck. Now, if you're in New York, you may have noticed that, when a truck is idle in front of a park or a school and there's a long line of people, it's not playing its music. I don't know if it's illegal or maybe it's just some unwritten rule, but I didn't care because it worked in my favor. And it just reinforced this lie. But I wasn't 100% sure that they believed me until one day we heard the ice cream truck. And my oldest started begging for ice cream, and she was relentless. It was driving me crazy. And I was about to respond, but before I could, my younger daughter said, hello? You know we can't get ice cream because it's playing its music. And I held my breath and waited anxiously because this was the moment I was going to find out if this was working. And finally, my oldest said, oh, darn it. Hate that daggone song. Means I can't get any ice cream. And I exhaled because I knew right then and there that I was #winning. But after a while, I did feel guilty and decided that, you know what, I gotta come clean. A friend of mine had heard that Honest Tea was doing this national campaign where they were looking for real people to share the little white lies that they had been telling their loved ones. So, for shits and giggles, I decided to audition. And I did, and they loved it. So one Saturday morning, I had 30 crew members and 3 very large cameras in my living room. But I was terrified. Not because I'm shy, but because I stressed the importance of honesty, and now I had to look my kids in the eye and tell them that I was a liar. But there I was. So I sat down with my 6 and 8-year-old and began to tell the truth. My 8-year-old called me a hypocrite about 4 times. And it took everything in me not to lean over and just pop her in the mouth. Because I looked around and saw 30 crew members and 3 very large cameras and decided that this was not the day that I was gonna go viral for knocking a kid out. So, My 6-year-old, on the other hand, was livid. Through clenched teeth, she said, "Mommy, I'm gonna give you a piece of my mind. If you had stickers on the sticker chart, I would take them all away." She was pissed, to the point where I think even at one point she looked at me as if to say, "So this bitch kept me from having summer after summer of ice cream because of her damn lies?" They were so upset with me. But the crazy thing is that my mother-in-law put me on. So the nanny that they loved and cherished so much is the one that started the lie. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant, so brilliant that I had a third kid just so I could keep going. But the first time I tried to tell that little one about the ice cream truck, the 2 older ones looked at her and said, "Don't believe her. She stay lying." And I gave them the side eye, but I couldn't say anything because they were telling the truth. So the little one, she just jumped on the bandwagon and decided to not believe me either. So now these days, I am beholden to my 3 daughters and that damn ice cream truck. So when they hear, they come and find me, and they're like, "Okay, boo, you know what you gotta do. Get out there and redeem yourself for all those years of lies." And what do? I'll be in my slippers, I'll be in my pajamas, sometimes even a bonnet, and I get out there and start running after JJ, because yes, we're on a first name basis with the ice cream man. And I'm like, "Hey, JJ, can I have 3 vanilla cones with rainbow sprinkles, please?" That's what I got. Thank you so much.
Gabby Shea, all the way from New York City, Brooklyn.